Protein is one of the most important components of the human body. It is not only for bodybuilders or people who regularly lift weights. Protein is involved in nearly every important process taking place inside your body. The body uses protein to build and repair tissues, create enzymes, produce hormones, maintain the immune system, and support thousands of biological reactions that occur every day. Your skin, hair, nails, internal organs, and much of your body's structure all require protein to function normally. But when people talk about protein, muscles receive most of the attention. Every time you exercise, especially when you perform resistance training, your muscle fibers experience tiny amounts of damage. That is not a bad thing. It is a signal that tells the body to begin the process of repair and adaptation. The body uses amino acids from protein to rebuild these muscle fibers, allowing them to recover and gradually become stronger. If you train hard but do not consume enough protein, your body may not have enough of the necessary building materials to complete this process efficiently. Training creates the signal. Protein provides the building materials. Sleep and recovery give the body time to complete the construction. All three are necessary. However, most people still believe that the only way to obtain a significant amount of protein is to eat large quantities of meat, eggs, and dairy products, or use whey protein powder. Those foods can certainly provide protein, but they are not the only options. The plant world contains far more remarkable protein sources than most people have ever been told about. Of course, the numbers can change depending on whether the food is measured fresh, cooked, or dried. But the most important point is not that one food must defeat every other food. The important thing is recognizing that you have far more choices than you may realize. In today's video, we will count down 20 high-protein plants and plant-based foods that can help diversify your diet, support recovery, and contribute to more effective muscle building. The list begins with a familiar nut that may already be sitting in your kitchen. But as we move closer to number 1, the numbers will become increasingly difficult to believe. Number 2 can contain approximately 60 to 70% protein by dry weight. And number 1 is a fast-growing tree that can be harvested repeatedly and provides all 9 essential amino acids. Let us begin. Number 20, almonds. Let us begin with a completely ordinary afternoon. You have just spent several hours working. Lunch was a long time ago, but dinner is still several hours away. Your energy begins to fall, and you need something quick that will not interrupt your work. This is where a small handful of almonds can make a difference. Almonds do not need to be cooked. They do not need refrigeration or require complicated preparation. You simply open the bag and eat them. About 1 ounce of almonds, which is roughly 1 small handful, can provide nearly 6 grams of protein. That is not enough to replace all the protein in a main meal, but it can be very useful for adding more protein to your total daily intake. Almonds also provide unsaturated fats, fiber, and magnesium. Magnesium is involved in energy production, muscle contraction, and many reactions required for recovery after physical activity. The true strength of almonds is not a shocking protein number. It is their ability to fit almost anywhere. You can add almonds to oatmeal in the morning, sprinkle them over a salad at lunch, blend them into a post-workout smoothie, or carry a small portion with you to work on a hiking trip or while driving. For people trying to gain muscle mass but struggling to eat enough energy, almonds also provide a relatively large number of calories in a small serving. However, that also means portion size needs to be controlled. A small handful can be useful, but eating directly from a large bag without paying attention can cause you to consume much more than you intended. Almonds are at number 20 not because they are weak. They are here because this is only the first doorway into the world of plant protein. Number 19, green peas. There may be no vegetable that children push to the side of their plates more often than green peas. Those small green spheres are frequently treated as the vegetable that must be eaten before dessert is allowed. But try looking at them through the eyes of someone searching for protein. 1 cooked cup of green peas can provide approximately 9 grams of protein. That is a significant amount for a food that is usually treated as nothing more than a side dish. Green peas also provide many essential amino acids. They are also used to produce pea protein, a plant-based protein that is becoming increasingly common in drinks and supplements designed for people who exercise. But the more interesting story takes place beneath the soil. Green peas belong to the legume family. Their roots can work with certain bacteria to convert nitrogen from the air into a form that plants can use. In other words, while the plant is producing protein-rich food for you, it is also participating in a process that can improve soil fertility. Green peas prefer cool weather. They can be planted in early spring and often produce a harvest before the hottest part of summer arrives. Climbing varieties can grow along fences or trellises, turning vertical space into an area for food production. You can eat the peas fresh, freeze them for later use. Cook them in soup. Mix them into rice. Blend them into a sauce. Or add them to pasta dishes and salads. Green peas were once dismissed as a boring food, but sometimes the most ordinary looking things hide the greatest value directly in front of us. Number 18, asparagus. Asparagus is not suitable for people who want to plant today and harvest next week. This is a crop that requires you to think further ahead. When you plant asparagus, you are not simply preparing for one season. You are creating a harvest that can return for many years. Asparagus is a perennial plant. Once the root system becomes well established, the plant can continue producing new spears every spring for a very long time. One cooked cup of asparagus can provide approximately 4.5 grams of protein. It also contains folate, vitamin K, and many antioxidant compounds. In the bodybuilding world, asparagus often appears in pre-competition diets because of its mild, natural diuretic effect. But the plant's greatest value lies in the way it stores strength. At the end of the harvest season, growers should not cut every remaining spear. The spears that remain will develop into delicate, fern-like foliage. This foliage absorbs sunlight and transfers energy down into the root system. What the plant stores this year will determine the strength of the spears that emerge next year. That is very similar to the process of building muscle. You may train for 1 hour, but most muscle growth does not occur while you are lifting weights. It takes place afterward when the body is resting and receiving enough nutrition. Asparagus teaches us a simple principle. Sustainable results often come from preparation that no one can see. Number 17, artichokes. Artichokes do not allow you to eat in a hurry. You cannot bite into the entire flower the way you would bite into an apple. You must remove each leaf, pull the soft flesh away with your teeth, continue moving deeper inside, and finally reach the tender artichoke heart. The entire experience is like opening the layers of a secret box. One medium artichoke can provide approximately 4.5 grams of protein and a very large amount of fiber. This combination helps a meal remain satisfying for a longer period. Artichokes also contain cynarin, a compound often studied in connection with digestive and liver function. Protein only has value when the body can digest and use it. For that reason, a properly functioning digestive system is an important part of any diet designed to support muscle. Artichokes can also completely change the way people think about food-producing plants. With their large, silver-green leaves, they resemble ornamental plants designed for the landscape. If the flower head is allowed to mature instead of being harvested, it can open into an impressive purple flower. You can grow artichokes for their appearance and grow them for food, or you can do both. It is a plant that does not force you to choose between beauty and productivity. And sometimes the most valuable protein source is not only found in the food being served, it can also be found in the slow process that allows you to discover every layer of that food. Number 16, kale. Imagine the garden on a cold morning. A thin layer of frost covers the ground. Sensitive vegetables have already wilted. Many plants have almost stopped growing. But in the middle of that scene, kale is still standing. Kale is one of the leafy vegetables with an extraordinary ability to tolerate cold. In fact, a light frost can make the leaves taste sweeter. When temperatures fall, the plant converts some of its starch into sugar to protect its cells. The same conditions that weaken many vegetables can actually improve the flavor of kale. 1 cooked cup of kale provides approximately 4.5 grams of protein. It also brings calcium, iron, vitamin K, and many plant compounds. Protein supports muscle repair. Iron is involved in oxygen transport. Calcium and vitamin K contribute to the skeletal system, the foundation that your muscles depend upon to create movement. Kale also does not require the grower to harvest the entire plant at once. You can remove the large outer leaves and allow the center to continue developing. The plant produces new leaves. You harvest again. This process can continue for many months. Kale is not a champion because it produces one enormous harvest. It wins through its ability to continue appearing on the table after many other plants have finished their season. Number 15, pistachios. Place 2 bowls of snacks in front of you. 1 bowl contains nuts that have already been shelled. The other contains pistachios still inside their shells. With the first bowl, you may continue eating without realizing how much you have consumed. But with pistachios, every nut requires an action. Pick up the nut, open the shell, remove the kernel, put the shell down. After a while, the pile of shells in front of you becomes a visual record of how much you have eaten. This is sometimes called the pistachio shell effect. The shelling process slows down the rate of eating and can make you more aware of portion size. 1 ounce of pistachios provides approximately 6 grams of protein. They also contain fiber, potassium, unsaturated fat, and a variety of natural antioxidant pigments. For someone trying to gain muscle, pistachios can add both protein and energy in a compact snack. For someone trying to control food intake, the version still inside the shell may slow down the eating process. The same food can serve 2 different goals. Pistachios also provide an experience that protein powder cannot create. You must interact with the food. Every small shell creates a pause. And sometimes those pauses are what make a snack more intelligent. Number 14, spinach. Let us reopen the case of a famous cartoon sailor. Popeye eats a can of spinach. His arms immediately become larger. His strength increases within seconds. Of course, spinach does not work as quickly as it does in a cartoon, but is the idea connecting spinach with physical strength completely wrong? 1 cooked cup of spinach provides approximately 5.5 grams of protein. It also contains naturally occurring nitrates. Inside the body, nitrates can be converted into nitric oxide, a molecule involved in blood vessel dilation and the delivery of blood to tissues. That is why nitrate-rich foods are frequently studied in the field of athletic performance. Spinach also contains a group of compounds called phytoectosteroid. Some studies have investigated whether these compounds may influence protein synthesis and muscle growth. That does not turn spinach into a miraculous natural steroid. But it does show that this vegetable is far more complex than its simple appearance suggests. There is an important detail to remember when discussing spinach portions. A very large bowl of fresh leaves will shrink dramatically after cooking. Therefore, 1 cup of raw spinach and 1 cup of cooked spinach do not represent the same amount of food. Popeye exaggerated the speed, but perhaps he was not completely wrong about his choice of vegetable. Number 13, sunflower seeds. Everything begins with 1 small gray seed. The seed is placed in the soil. A stem emerges. The stem continues rising until it grows taller than many of the surrounding vegetables. Then a large flower opens and turns toward the light. At the center of the flower are hundreds of small spirals. Every position within those spirals can develop into a protein-containing seed. 1 ounce of shelled sunflower seeds provides approximately 5 to 6 grams of protein. They also contain vitamin E, magnesium, and unsaturated fats. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, helping protect cell membranes from oxidative damage. As the sunflower matures, the back of the flower head begins changing from green to yellow or brown. The petals fall away. The seeds become fuller and harder. This is the signal that harvest time is approaching. You can cut off the flower head, allow it to continue drying, and then remove the seeds by hand. The seeds can then be eaten raw, roasted, or ground into sunflower seed butter. This butter is especially useful for people who are allergic to peanuts or certain tree nuts. Sunflower seeds are not simply a food. They allow you to observe the complete transformation of energy. Light becomes a plant. The plant becomes a flower. And the flower becomes hundreds of small portions of energy-rich food. Number 12, quinoa. Think of protein as a word made from 9 letters. The body needs all 9 letters to complete that word. Those letters represent the 9 essential amino acids that the body cannot produce in the amounts it requires. Many plant proteins contain all of the letters, but 1 or 2 may appear in relatively small amounts. That is not a major problem when you eat a variety of foods throughout the day. But quinoa makes the equation simpler. It provides all 9 essential amino acids in meaningful amounts, which is why it is commonly described as a complete protein. 1 cooked cup of quinoa provides approximately 8 grams of protein. It also contains complex carbohydrates, fiber, and many minerals. The combination of protein and carbohydrates makes quinoa a useful foundation for a post-workout meal. Carbohydrates replace energy that has been used. Protein supplies the material required for tissue repair. Quinoa was once an important food for civilizations in the Andes. It has also been studied as a possible crop for food systems used during long-duration space missions. After harvesting, the seeds need to be washed thoroughly to remove the naturally bitter saponin coating. The plant equips its seeds with a protective layer. But with a small amount of processing, that defense disappears and the nutrition inside becomes available. Number 11, chickpeas. Place 1 cup of chickpeas on a table and imagine how many different foods you can create from it. Blend them with tahini, lemon, and garlic, and they become hummus. Roast them with paprika and salt, and they become a crunchy snack. Grind them coarsely with herbs and spices, and they can become the base for falafel. Turn them into flour, and they can be used in bread, pasta, and many gluten-free dishes. Even the liquid from a can of chickpeas, known as aquafaba, can be whipped and used as an egg white substitute in certain recipes. Few foods can change their form in so many different ways. 1 cooked cup of chickpeas provides approximately 15 grams of protein. It also supplies fiber and complex carbohydrates. Chickpeas contain leucine, an amino acid that plays an important role in activating muscle protein synthesis. But the greatest advantage is that you do not have to eat them in one fixed form. If you become tired of stewed chickpeas, roast them until crisp. Or you are tired of roasted chickpeas, make hummus. And if you want a completely different texture, use chickpea flour. Many people fail to maintain a healthy diet not because the food lacks nutrition. They fail because the meals become repetitive and boring. Chickpeas solve that exact problem through an almost unlimited ability to transform. Number 10, black beans. Let us solve a simple problem. You need to prepare several high-protein meals for the week. You want the cost to remain low. The food must store well. It should not require a freezer. It needs to work in many different recipes, and it must be filling enough to maintain energy for several hours. Black beans meet nearly all of those requirements. 1 cooked cup of black beans provides approximately 15 grams of protein. It also contains fiber and complex carbohydrates. Protein supports muscle repair. Carbohydrates help replenish glycogen. Fiber slows digestion and extends the feeling of fullness. 1 bag of dried black beans can create many servings at a much lower cost than most animal protein sources. When stored under dry conditions, beans can remain on the shelf for a long time without requiring electricity. That is an important advantage that fresh meat cannot provide. In the garden, black beans also participate in nitrogen fixation. After harvesting, the remaining stems and leaves can be returned to the soil as organic material. You receive food. The soil receives benefit. And the next crop may begin under improved conditions. In the competition between price, storage life, and protein content, black beans are one of the most difficult opponents to defeat. Number 9, amaranth. There was a time when amaranth was not simply food. It was part of ceremony, culture, and power. The Aztecs used amaranth in everyday life and considered it a crop of great value. When the Spanish conquered the region, amaranth cultivation was restricted because of its connection with indigenous religious traditions. A plant can be banned not because it is weak, but because it is so important that controlling the crop becomes a way of controlling the people. 1 cooked cup of amaranth provides approximately 9 grams of protein. It contains all the essential amino acids and is especially notable for its lysine content. Lysine is often found in relatively small amounts in many traditional grains. That makes amaranth a useful food to combine with meals based heavily on grains. Many varieties of amaranth also produce edible leaves. You can harvest the young leaves like a green vegetable, then allow the plant to mature and harvest the large seed heads at the end of the season. One plant provides 2 forms of food during 2 different stages of growth. Amaranth was once pushed out of many fields, but it was never erased from history. It continues to grow, carrying the nutritional value that once helped feed an entire civilization. Number 8, fava bean. Imagine a Roman gladiator preparing to enter the arena. There is no whey powder, no protein bar, no refrigerator filled with chicken breast. His energy comes from foods that can be grown close to home, cooked in large pots, and used to provide enough nutrition for demanding physical labor. Fava beans are one of those foods. 1 cooked cup of fava beans provides approximately 13 grams of protein. They also contain folate, iron, fiber, and carbohydrates. Fava beans contain L-dopa, a precursor used by the body to produce dopamine. This is a powerful biological compound, but that does not mean fava beans should be used as medicine or as a growth-promoting substance. Some people with G6PD deficiency can experience a serious reaction to fava beans and need to avoid them. For people who can safely eat this legume, it offers another advantage in the garden. Fava beans prefer cool weather. They can be planted at a time when many summer beans are not yet capable of growing. The tall plants produce distinctive clusters of flowers, which later develop into large pods containing thick beans. Fava beans are not a newly invented food created for the fitness industry. They supported working and fighting bodies thousands of years before the first modern gym appeared. Number 7, peanuts. 1 slice of bread, 1 layer of peanut butter, 1 layer of fruit jam. 3 simple ingredients created one of the most familiar sandwiches in North America. It is carried to school, placed in gym bags, eaten on the way to work, and it has been used for generations for one very practical reason. It provides convenient energy, requires very little preparation, and tastes appealing. 1 ounce of peanuts provides approximately 7 grams of protein. Peanut butter can also help people who struggle to eat enough calories, add more energy in a relatively small volume of food. You can add it to smoothies, oatmeal, sauces, or desserts. However, most of the energy in peanuts comes from fat. That can be useful for someone trying to gain weight, but portion size still matters when the goal is controlling total calorie intake. Another interesting detail is that peanuts do not actually belong to the tree nut family. They are legumes. After the flowers are pollinated, a structure from the plant grows downward into the soil. The pods develop beneath the surface rather than hanging from branches. While other nuts grow upward toward the light, peanuts hide their protein beneath the ground. They are so familiar that they are easy to overlook, but familiarity does not reduce their value. Number 6, chia seeds. Here is an experiment you can perform in your kitchen. Take 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, place them in a glass of water. Stir and wait. After a short period, every seed begins forming a transparent gel around itself. The entire mixture becomes thicker. Tiny seeds that were almost unnoticeable have completely changed the texture of the water. 2 tablespoons of chia seeds provide approximately 5 grams of protein, around 11 grams of fiber, and a quantity of plant-based omega, 3 fatty acids. Chia seeds do not need to be cooked. You can add them directly to oatmeal, yogurt, and smoothies, or soak them overnight to create chia pudding. Their ability to absorb water makes chia seeds satisfying and allows them to become a convenient ingredient in many recipes. But this same ability means you should consume chia seeds with enough liquid. You should not swallow a large amount of dried chia seeds and then drink water afterward. Chia seeds were once used as a food source that could be carried on long journeys. They are lightweight, easy to store, they require no cooking, and they provide many nutrients in a very small amount. They are evidence that in nature, size does not determine strength. Number 5, lentils. The clock is running, you have just finished your workout. You are hungry, but there is nothing prepared in the kitchen. Many dried beans need to soak for several hours before cooking. Lentils do not. You only need to rinse them, place them in a pot with water, and begin cooking. Within approximately 20 to 30 minutes, a protein-rich meal can be ready. 1 cooked cup of lentils provides approximately 18 grams of protein. It also contains iron, folate, manganese, fiber, and complex carbohydrates. Red lentils soften quickly, making them suitable for soups and curries. Green or brown lentils hold their shape better, making them useful for salads and stew. Small black lentils have a firmer texture and an appearance that resembles caviar. You do not have only one type of lentil. You have several textures and methods of preparation. For busy people, cooking speed is the greatest advantage. For people who want to save money, low cost is the advantage. For people who exercise, the combination of protein and carbohydrates makes lentils a practical post-workout choice. Some foods create interest because they are unusual. Lentils create interest through their ability to solve the problem of a meal when you have no time to waste. Number 4, pumpkin seeds. Imagine a pumpkin that has just been cut open. A spoon is pushed inside. The pulp and seeds are pulled out, collected in a pile, and prepared to be thrown into the trash. But inside that material being treated as waste is a significant amount of protein. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds provides approximately 9 grams of protein. They also contain magnesium and zinc, 2 minerals that are important for muscle function, immune health, and energy production. After removing the seeds from the pumpkin, you only need to separate them from the pulp. Rinse them, dry them, and roast them. A small amount of salt can transform them into a crunchy snack. Spicy seasoning creates an entirely different flavor. The seeds can also be sprinkled over soup, salad, or oatmeal. Some special pumpkin varieties produce seeds without a hard outer hull. They are often called hulless or naked-seeded pumpkins. This allows the grower to move almost directly from harvesting to roasting the seeds. The same pumpkin plant provides flesh, seeds, and even edible flowers. The problem was never that the plant lacked value. The problem is that we often see only one part of it. Pumpkin seeds are at number 4 because they transform something commonly discarded into one of the most protein-rich foods in the seed category. Number 3, soybeans. The debate begins. One side argues that soy is a complete, versatile protein source that has been consumed for generations. The other side presents a long list of concerns involving hormones and muscle development. So, what does the evidence say? 1 cooked cup of soybeans can provide approximately 29 grams of protein. Soy protein contains all the essential amino acids. When the total amount of protein in the diet is kept equal, many studies indicate that soy can support muscle growth in a way comparable to many animal protein sources. Most concerns found online focus on isoflavones, plant compounds with a structure that differs from human estrogen. The fact that a compound can interact with estrogen receptors does not mean it produces exactly the same effect as estrogen inside the human body. For most healthy adults, normal dietary amounts of soy have not been shown to destroy testosterone or cause muscle loss. But soybeans do not win only through their protein number. One plant creates an enormous variety of products. Young beans become edamame. Soy milk can be coagulated to create tofu. Fermented soybeans become tempeh. Protein can be separated and used to create many meat alternative products. After examining the evidence, the verdict becomes relatively clear. Soy is not the enemy of muscle. For many people, it is one of the strongest and most versatile plant protein sources available. Number 2, spirulina. We are now shrinking the world. Smaller than a pea, smaller than a chia seed, so small that the individual organisms are nearly impossible to see with the naked eye. Spirulina is a photosynthetic microorganism, commonly described as a blue-green microalgae. When dried, spirulina can contain approximately 60 to 70% protein by weight. Compare that with many types of fresh meat, which commonly contain a little more than 20 to 30% protein by weight. The difference is enormous. 2 tablespoons of spirulina powder can provide approximately 8 grams of protein. It also carries iron, antioxidant pigments, and other nutritional compounds. Spirulina was traditionally harvested in certain areas near Lake Chad in Africa and Lake Texcoco in Mexico. It is not a product that was recently invented by the health food industry. People were using this food source long before it appeared in containers of green powder. Spirulina has also been studied in programs related to space nutrition. The reason is that it grows quickly, has a high nutrient density, and can be produced within a relatively small area. But this is the part that must be emphasized. You should never harvest random algae from a natural pond or lake and eat it. Other algae species can produce toxins. The water may also contain heavy metals or other pollutants. Spirulina intended for human consumption must come from a controlled production system and a trusted supplier. Number 2, does not belong to a giant tree. It belongs to a microscopic organism with enough protein density to make almost every traditional protein source pay attention. Number 1, moringa. A moringa seed is placed into the soil. Under warm conditions, it germinates quickly. The stem rises. Young branches begin to appear. Within the first year, the tree can reach a height that many other food crops cannot match. But the most remarkable feature is not its speed of growth. It is the ability to continue producing food after every harvest. The leaves are cut, the tree produces new branches. Those branches create more leaves. When pruned correctly, moringa can become a repeating system of leafy vegetable production over a long period. Dried moringa leaf powder can provide approximately 27 grams of protein per 100 gram. It contains all 9 essential amino acids. The leaves also provide calcium, potassium, iron, vitamins, and numerous plant compounds. When the leaves are dried, the water is removed, making the nutrients much more concentrated. That is why dried leaf powder has much higher nutritional numbers than fresh leaves. In many areas of Africa, South Asia, and Southeast Asia, moringa has been used as a traditional vegetable and nutritional resource for generations. Young leaves can be cooked in soups, stews, and many other dishes. Dried leaves can be ground into powder and added to porridge or other food. Moringa tolerates relatively poor soil and periods of drought better than many ordinary leafy vegetables. That makes it especially valuable in regions where growing conditions are difficult and food supplies are unstable. It is not a miracle food capable of replacing an entire diet, but very few plants can simultaneously grow quickly, tolerate difficult conditions, produce repeated harvests, and provide complete protein together with such a broad nutritional profile. That is why moringa is number 1. Not only because of its protein content, but because of its ability to transform a small area of soil into a continuous source of nutrition. Protein is important, but the amount of protein printed on a label is not the only factor that determines whether your body can build muscle. You also need to consume enough total energy, train at an appropriate level, get sufficient sleep, and give your body time to recover. No single ingredient can replace that complete process. An effective diet also does not need to revolve around only one source of protein. Variety helps the body receive different amino acids, vitamins, minerals, fiber, and essential fat. Instead of searching for one perfect food, build an eating system that you can maintain over the long term. Choose ingredients that fit your budget, fit your taste, preferences, or food culture, and fit the way you live every day. The best food is not always the one with the largest number or the most impressive packaging. It is often the food you can prepare regularly, eat comfortably, and continue using for months or years. Muscle is not built after one meal. It is the result of hundreds of small choices repeated consistently. Every training session is a signal. Every meal provides part of the building material. Every night of rest gives the body time to complete its work. When those elements work together, progress no longer depends on a miraculous product. It becomes the natural result of maintaining the right habits for a long enough period.